Good morning, Texas. Good morning, Facebook family. We are live in Laredo, Texas. If nobody knows where that's at, get a map, and it's right at the tip of the border. It is one of the entry places into the United States. And I am live here with Professor Bultron. He has some interesting and very, I guess, eye-opening news of what's going on in Laredo right now with a government who has become just pure tyrannic government is what's going on. So Professor Bultran, go ahead and tell us what is going on in Laredo, Texas. We need to bring light to this.
Well, good morning, and good morning, Texas. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, America. They're saying that there's no sound. Can you hear me? I hope everybody can hear me. If somebody cannot hear, put the word out.
Okay, hold on. Let me see here. All right, hopefully we've never had time. I mean, Anthony, can you hear us? Let's see. Can y'all hear us?
If you guys can hear us, put it out. Yay, nay.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, no. She says I can hear you. Okay, Betty, great. Okay. Anthony was saying we okay, he can hear us. Okay, great. Yeah. Professor Bultran, again, just live from Laredo, Texas. We have a breaking news here about what's going on in Laredo right now with a government that is completely gone in a tyrannic agenda here. Professor, please let us know what's going on in Laredo.
Well, it all started with a lockdown back about a month ago, probably April 16th. First, it was 14 days. There was no warning whatsoever. They just shut everything down, like most of the other cities and states in the U.S. And what occurred was that all of a sudden they started implementing new phases or new ordinances. Now you have to have a mask walking outside at one particular time.
Yes.
Then they placed a curfew. First, the curfew was for minors. Now it's a curfew for everybody from 10 to 5 at night. Okay, fine, understood.
Okay.
All of a sudden, they started going after people. The police were, instead of going out there and patrolling for drugs and burglaries and so on and so forth, which is on the rise right now, they're going after people. Okay, there's a couple of tickets that were given out this 2 days ago at $4,000 each. One family was issued 3. That's $12,000. People in Laredo, there's two sides to it. There's a lot of them that say, "Why did you go out? You should have not gone out." They're falling into this fear mongering, if you want to put it that way.
Right.
I don't know if you can show the ticket.
Yeah, I'm going to show here exactly what you're talking about. Hang on here. Let me see. Let me go back here onto the actual tickets that you were showing us here earlier. Can everybody see this? Let me show this one right here. Can y'all see this ticket? I know it's really hard, but Professor Bultron, let us know what's on this ticket.
Well, on that ticket right there, it's just showing that somebody was driving past the curfew time. Okay, and they were giving a ticket for $4,000. That's another individual. This is going out throughout the city. Okay, now what occurs is how the city's behaving. Okay,
right.
The city, the leaders kind of just went into hiding. They'll do their mandates, push them out there, and then everybody else just kind of disappeared. The mayor has disappeared whatsoever. They say, well, he's talking to the county judge, he's talking to committees, but he's not talking to the public. These tickets right here, they're coming in. They're actually, to many, it's an abuse of power. Understand, give a tariff. We understand that there is a crisis. We understand that there is a virus. But to abuse it in such a way to go out there directly, it's a different story. Understand? They're looking for people. There's folks are sending me. Go ahead.
No, Professor Bultran, wasn't it yesterday or this couple past days that there was a family that was at the car wash washing their car? They happened to go past 10 o'clock, and didn't they cite the son, the parents? Everybody got a ticket, and they got a ticket for no mask, being out after curfew, and then one other ordinance. And didn't that total up to $12,000?
Exactly. Each person was given a $4,000 ticket. One of the kids is a high school student. Where is he going to get $12,000 to pay for that? Now, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
And they send me pictures of a police officer looking over a fence because we're in Texas. We like to barbecue. We have carnes asadas, and it continues moving forward to now they're looking behind fences to count how many people are in their backyard. Now, on Sunday, that's a picture that was sent. On Sunday, people saw on bridge number 1. Okay, this goes into the governor, goes into the bridge number 1. That picture right there is from the bridge number, the Lincoln.
Let me show that bridge. That bridge. There's there was a fire on the bridge, right?
Right. There's a car that caught on fire. Now, what gets me with that picture is, yes, we're supposed to have international commerce. That right there is nothing there has to be with international commerce. Okay? International commerce for me is okay, bringing over car parts and food and so on and so forth. Yes, I understand that. We all understand that. But that right there is people going over and visiting family in Nuevo Laredo, because Laredo is that type of city that has family across on the Mexican side and here and so on and so forth. So on Sundays, they go visit their folks or friends in Nuevo Laredo. Every single car that's there is from Texas. Okay. And that means that if you have a lockdown and you have people going to Nuevo Laredo, another city, that who knows if they have a mandate for wearing masks or they're protecting people like the way we are, this crisis or this virus will continue circling. Go ahead.
But let them know that Nuevo Laredo, that means they're in Mexico.
Nuevo Laredo is
not in the United States anymore. Yeah, they're in Mexico now.
Laredo's Mexico, Nuevo Laredo's Mexico. And that bridge right there goes to Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. We have 4 bridges. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And Laredo's the largest land port. In fact, people say it's now the largest port in the United States, right? And we understand that business of the international trade and commerce. But look at right there. If you see that picture, that's a federal agent without a mask.
So they're fining people for not wearing masks and for $4,000, but yet the own federal agents during this fire on the bridge don't have masks.
Exactly. And what gets me worse is that our governor Abbott, is locking up people under quarantine for coming legal American citizens, law-abiding citizens coming in from Louisiana, and they're putting them in a mandatory 14-day quarantine. You're also locking up Texans that go to Louisiana or abroad and come back into a 14-day quarantine. Here you have Texans going to another country and coming back honky-dory and going on about their lives. That's what labels this a scamdemic. The virus is real, but the scam is also real. And that's an issue that we're all going to, okay?
Yes,
it's
correct.
It's funny to see how you can tell people that should not have been in power are gaining too much power and they don't want to lose it. That's what this feels like.
Correct. Correct. Well, and, it's a tyrannic government has gone into into full force, and we've seen it across the country. But what is happening in Laredo is like pure communist. I mean, just communist. It's like $4,000 fines just because you were out after curfew. I can understand a $250 fine, a $500 fine. Now let's let the audience know Laredo is one of the probably top cities in the whole nation that is poverty stricken. Is that not correct?
That's you're correct. You're correct. So
to give these people a $4,000 fine, they know that they cannot afford that.
Well, exactly right. How can you give a kid that's in high school, a senior in high school, a $4,000 ticket? Where is she going to come out with that?
Right.
It's nowhere. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you just ruined the poor kid. So, and they're taking it as if it's your fault. No. Now let's step back. Let's go into mandates. Right there is the Laredo Morning Times. Okay. Yesterday they had a city council meeting. Our health director, his name is Dr. Gonzalez. He has a PhD in something other. He's not a medical doctor, but you have a doctor that works with him. His name is Trevino. Okay, Trevino, 2 weeks ago exactly, he wanted to make it mandatory that Laredo, inside your house, you have to wear a mask.
What?
Okay.
What?
Yeah. All right.
Inside the house?
Inside the house.
Oh my God.
Okay. So,
wow.
Okay, that's the type of mentality that we're dealing with. So how are you going to check people inside their house? More likely going to send the police going out there, and the police has now been labeled the bullies in blue, and we have great peace officers, but now they're kind of stepping out of line. Now, yesterday, he told them that we should, and it's in one of those, I can't really see it from here, but he says there, and you can read it, that he wants to make random tests on people. How are you going to make a random test on somebody? Are the police going to pick you up and take you to go get tested?
I see that. I see it says Trevino recommended that the city begin conducting random testing on locals to get an idea of how many are infected, and systematic. Currently, the city is only facilitating testing for people who display symptoms or came in contact with a confirmed COVID-19 patient. That's out of control right there.
Understand what I'm saying? So what are they gonna do? They're gonna send the police and they're gonna pick you up and they're gonna take you somewhere to get tested? Out of bounds. Out of bounds.
And how are they gonna know? I mean, they're just gonna randomly just pick you up at the grocery store, and because that's total like racial profiling. There's like a constitutional law against that. It's like racial profiling, but on the COVID, using the COVID-19. Oh, that one looks like he's got COVID, and let's take him in. So yeah, the mask mandate loosened, emergency coronavirus order extended after Laredo City Council meeting. Wow. Listen, Professor Bultron, do people in Laredo know what's actually going on? I mean, are they paying attention, or what is this?
No, you have some people that are waking up to what's going on here, to the scamdemic. But you also have a lot of individuals that they're using this for their own nefarious actions. Okay, how can I say that? They have some type of contract with the city. They have some type of contract with a company that does. So they're gonna go along with the lines. The hate that I saw by several different, I have a podcast. It's called Gloves Off, but there's other podcasts that are out there, and in one of them, we're watching how people were looking at the tickets, and basically it was hate driven to those people that got a ticket, that you should not have been out there. The name callings and so on and so forth, and hopefully you die, and that hate has to come back down. What gets me here is that the city of Laredo and many cities throughout the United States have elevated people to snitch on others. In World War II, there was a word that was created during Nazi Germany, and that word is called quisling, after a commander that used to pay people to snitch on somebody else that had a family of Jews inside their house or basement hiding.
Yes, okay? Correct.
So the word quisling. So right now they're encouraging quisling on others.
Oh my God!
And the Nazis had a word that they would use often for the safety of the community, and you see that being resonated throughout the stage, throughout the media. It's for the safety of the community. Now you have people calling others that you're not wearing a mask, that you're not, that you have 11 instead of 10 people in your house, that type of nonsense. If this goes haywire, which can go haywire, it's going to get very, very dangerous very, very quickly. Okay. I foresee, I deal with a lot of self-defense. I teach people how to defend themselves. I teach not only here, in other countries. And what I'm looking at right now is I'm seeing that as people are struggling with money, the violent crimes are going to start going back up. Okay.
Yeah.
In Laredo, we've already, it's going to go up. The robberies are going to go up.
People aren't working. Yeah. Right now, people aren't working. You live in a poverty-stricken, city, one of the most poverty-stricken cities in America, and crime is going to go up. And now they're fining people $4,000. They're telling you that you have to wear a mask inside your house. I mean, that is.
Well, they didn't say they didn't vote that in. They wanted to. They wanted to pass that, and the city council had enough brains, white matter in their brain to say no, we're not going to do that.
Right.
What gets me with the city of Laredo is you have 4 attorneys in there. You have the mayor's an attorney and 3 other city councilmen are attorneys, so they understand what they've done. The abuse of the First Amendment has gone way far and beyond. I see this whole issue of the crisis of the pandemic, if you want to say that, I see it has 3 folds. One, we have to understand what we're going to do with the virus itself, because it does exist. What's going to happen? Okay. Second, we have to understand how we're going to start back our communities to start working. Yeah. And third is how are we going to bring back our governments, both the municipal, state, and federal government, back into line with the Constitution, because you have a lot of leaders out there that already felt the power, and how they're not going to want to let go of that, and that's the danger part.
Well, you know what? I can tell you right now, Professor Beltrán, I'm reading some of these comments, and I can tell you that a lot of people are saying, "Hey, this is happening in the Democrat, states and stuff." Well, let me tell you, our state is a Republican state. We have a Republican governor. But in the city of Laredo, most of the cities, like the major cities here in Texas, except the rural, they're all Democrat. Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, El Paso, the Rio Grande Valley, that whole region, Laredo, as we were talking about, it's majority Democrat. And so here, people are going, well, wait a minute, but you live in a Republican state. No, not necessarily. I will tell you this, that a lot of Republicans right now, moderate and conservative, right-wing Republicans, whatever you want to call them, are very upset at the governor right now because he's allowing this to take place and he's letting the little cities supersede what he, as a governor, has the power to do in the state. And he's letting them run all over. But I'm going to tell you what, and I've called them out for this before, and people got mad at me. And I'm like, people don't realize, y'all need to go to Governor Abbott's for Texas, his FEC reports, and start going down his FEC reports and see how many Democrats, high dollar Democrats, are giving him money. They're buying him off. Governor Abbott isn't a true conservative anymore. He's been bought out by the left. And that's why he's been letting everybody in the state of Texas do what they're doing right now. They're getting away with it. Listen, President Trump had said, and I think I asked you about this yesterday. President Trump had told us that the borders were closed, that there was going to be no in and out. Okay. And
no, they're open. They're open.
And they're open. You told me they were open. Now I know that there was like
and the video tells you that they're open.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But the commerce is supposed to be in and out, but they're still open, and he told us the borders were shut. Who is allowing that to happen, Professor? Who is allowing that to happen?
Well, you have to understand that Laredo gets a lot of their money from the bridges. Okay, they have a lot of revenue coming in, and what in other cities also have bridges and ports of entry, and when they come in the other places, they usually place it in a fund. I found out yesterday I have a podcast, and we had an interview, and they were talking about how here in Laredo, all the money that comes into all the bridges are placed in the general fund, and they're used throughout.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, you can do that to help build the city, but usually goes out to discretionary funds by the different city councilmen, right? Just kind of divided throughout, and that's where the trouble is. You see, most of everybody here in Webb County is Democrat. Okay. They haven't had a Republican here in probably about 20 years. Okay. So it's very hard to come in here and bring in a candidate that's a Republican to try to win. He or she's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Correct.
Okay. So we really have to start seeing how we're going to get people into certain offices. And I think we're missing the ground roots play. I think we should start putting people inside the 2 different school districts that are Republican and move ourselves up. And we're not doing that. those people that go in there, they're usually controlled by certain families, and certain families are the ones that are in the same offices. They play musical chairs within the different political seats. And he was there 2 years in city council. Now he's in the county or in school board, or and so on and so forth. You have a lot of this. I'm a city councilman. I termed out, but my wife is going to run in my seat for me, or you know what I'm saying. So that needs to stop. We have to when this machine goes back into play. We really have to start seeing how we're going to change the face of how our governments work in election time. Maybe we have to make sure that everybody has a term limit throughout.
That's right.
Period. 2 terms, you're out. Sorry, you couldn't do your projects during that time frame. Well, let somebody else do something else.
That's right.
That's
right. That's right.
And I think this November, you're going to have a lot of both Republicans and Democrats that you're not going to see them next year. They're not going to get reelected. Why? Because of what happened here. I do not understand how you kill the small businesses and not pay attention to their owners when they're asking for help.
The backbone of
the Laredo, you have a lot of small businesses that called their city councilman and basically were told sorry or never got a phone call. I know all the city council, I know them personally, and I've called all of them. There were only 2 that showed care about what's
compassion
going on. That showed
for
care.
what was going on.
What was going on, Understand?
Here we have Glenda. Here we have Glenda Tristan saying that, she knew that when Governor Abbott pulled out the National Guard from the border 2 years ago, that he had been compromised. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And we have Linda over here saying, absolutely, we need to do term limits. And there's people saying, hey, this is getting very scary. Yes, it is. And Teresa here, we can stop voting Democrats. But listen, Teresa, it's also some Republicans.
Too, Teresa. We have to vote out the rhinos.
Too. That's right. There is we are in a time right now to make history in 2020, where we can go in there and truly change the direction of this country by voting out Democrats for sure, but also by voting out some Republicans that need to be gone as well. And that's what we need to do. Not just 2020, but we need to do that and beyond. We need to stop voting in these people who have been in office for 10, 20, 30 years and start getting some fresh, conservative thinkers that are going to lead us into the future. And this, like you said, in politics, it ends up being who has the biggest war chest, right, to win that race.
Right.
A lot of the times, not all the time, but most of the time, especially in the small little towns. So I think it's very important that, that we just make sure that you all share this message, let people know what's happening in Laredo. And if you're just tuning in, Professor Beltran here was just showing us right now how they're citing people with $4,000 tickets for being out past 10 p.m. after curfew or for not even wearing a mask. $4,000, people. $4,000 in a poverty-stricken community where everything is shut down and the community is run by small businesses and everyone is hurting. And it's like Professor says, the crime is going up. This is unacceptable.
Let me tell you right now, the 2 leaders within our city government that stepped up to the plate, I commend the fire chief of Laredo, Steve Landin.
Okay.
And I also commend the new city manager, Robert Eads. They're the ones that have shown sense of direction. Because in the health department, it's just a mess. It's a mess. You have a bones and you have a quack, and that's running the place there. One's a doctor and one's a PhD and something else. So I can't fathom what he said. Random testing of Laredo.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying? Are they going to pull them off the street when you're walking? Are they going to come to your house, knock, and at gunpoint go test you? I mean, this is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah, they're out of control. They're out of control. Well, Professor Butron, how can people find you, to check in with you and find out what's going on or what they can do, they can help Laredo out, maybe make some phone calls or calling the governor's office? Where can they find you on social media?
You can find me in social media. You can find me both on YouTube and on Facebook. I have a podcast called Gloves Off with Professor Butron. You can look me up, and we'll share the link later on. And it would just
wonderful. All right.
All right. You be safe. Continue doing what you're doing, folks out there. Continue praying and understand that there is a virus that's for real, but also understand that the scam is also for real. And that's what we have to start cutting down.
Correct.
All right.
Thank you, Professor Butron. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. And thank you for telling us what was going on in Laredo, Texas. Thank you so much. Have a great and blessed day. So there you have it. What's actually what is happening in Laredo, Texas. Again, people getting fined $4,000. It's important. Please share this message. This is brought to you by Latinos for Trump, and I'm on Anthony's page right now. So I know he was listening in, and Anthony, we miss you. I want to see you more on lives, Anthony. He is our state director. You can find us on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook at Official LFT 2020. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook. You can also visit our website at latinosfortrump.us. Go and support our cause, and we have a shop. We have t-shirts. We have all kinds of stuff that you can purchase and show your support for our organization and for the news that it brings, for the activism that is happening, for what we do out in the community. Just show your support, or you can just simply join our movement. But definitely, please go follow us at Official LFT 2020 on Facebook or any of the other social media, and share our message and retweet and share and everything else. Anyway, please let people know. Earlier in the broadcast, I showed you a couple of tickets that showed how people were getting that $4,000 fine. So that is a complete utterance. It's a chaos. It's a tyrannic government, and needs to be stopped. And so I urge those of you that live in the state of Texas to please call Governor Abbott office and tell them this must stop. And no, don't just call Governor Abbott. Call Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick as well. Make 2 phone calls right there, and call our state senators. Call Ted Cruz and call Senator Cornyn, and tell them that this Gestapo, type of government, tyrannic government, needs to stop in the communities. Anyway, just thanks for tuning in. It's been early in the morning, and anyway, virtual hugs to all of you. Sharon, thank you so much. Thanks for the shout out. And as I say in Latinos for Trump all the time, peace out.